Welcome to the Hustle Hills podcast. Hustle Hills is the hub for all things health and business. This podcast will provide you with quick and easy, helpful health tips, as well as advice directly from entrepreneurs on how to grow your business and make it what you want. Every Wednesday will be something different, so subscribe today to learn the tricks to hustling in health and in business. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Hustle Hills podcast. I am Cindy Kemakolam, your host, and today we're doing it a little differently. It's going to be a very brief episode. It's completely off the cuff. It's a thought that just occurred to me, and I wanted to share this because I think it is super important. And I say that in every episode. And so I want you to know that the things I'm sharing with you, these are things that I genuinely think people in business, people just generally speaking, but people in business in particular should know. It's a way to hold ourselves accountable. Nobody is perfect, but if we are constantly striving to be aware of the things that may hold us back or things that we can do to push us forward, we're all good. Okay. That's why we're out here. We're hustling. So this is something that I've dealt with personally. I'm sure other business owners and other people who are trying to start doing something or working with other people have experienced. You have a situation where maybe you notice that somebody's slacking in a particular area, or there's something that they're doing that you don't like and you want to address it with them. And as soon as you address it with them, they have an excuse. Well, I did this thing or I didn't do this thing because of this. Or they compare the inadequacy that they have to an inadequacy that you have as a way to deflect and not take ownership of the thing that they're not doing right. If you are a person who does that, I want you to cast that out today. We cannot continue to point the finger. By the time somebody is telling you something that you are doing that they don't like, trust me, they've thought about it. They've thought about how this may affect this person, how this person may take this thing, and don't take it personally. I've said this probably since 2012. Business, there's no place for your feelings in business. You need to get out of your feelings. We're not here picking on you as the person. We're saying that what you're bringing to the business is hurting the business. The business is what puts money in our pocket. If your actions are hurting the business, then it's hurting the money that's going in our pocket. We're trying to correct that. Take a step back and stop thinking that it's a personal attack on you. It's very easy to say, okay, well, they're calling me out for something, so I'm going to call them out for something, instead of just taking the constructive criticism and asking yourself truly, is it true? Everything that people tell you may not be true, but if it is true, what can I do to fix it? If it means going to bed early, if it means getting up earlier, if it means eating breakfast, if it means turning your phone off while you're at work, if it means not answering random calls that come in your phone while you're at work, whether it's taking notes when you're in a meeting or asking questions when you're unclear, whatever you need to do to correct the criticism that somebody is giving you at work, particularly somebody in a position of power, I really want you guys to stop taking things personally. Trust me when I say this, that unless you just work for somebody who is crude and very insensitive and doesn't care about you as an employee, they have probably thought about how to communicate the message to you in such a way where you're not going to be offended. But their responsibility is to the business first. So if they're telling you something that you can correct, please take the correction. That's not the time to start pointing out, well, I did this one time, or you just automatically, oh, it's my fault. It's not about fault. It's about, this is something that I've recognized or I've become aware of that you're doing, and I want to draw your attention to it so that you can stop doing it, or you can try to make the correction. The choice is really yours at the end of the day. Nobody likes to work with somebody who doesn't take accountability for the things that they do wrong. It's a simple, you're right, I'm going to work on that. Or, you know what, I'm sorry that that has been happening. I'm going to pay more attention to that particular thing. Or thank you for bringing it up. I'm going to work on it. It's simple. It's not a like a referendum on you, or your character. It's just you're doing something sometimes that you're completely unaware that you're doing that needs to be changed or adapted. And so please stop taking things personally in business. I will belabor this point over and over and over again because I continue to see it. I have people tell me all the time, oh, there's this, I have conversations at school usually before class and people will mention certain things, or I'll be talking to a girlfriend, or I'll be having, just a random group discussion. And these types of things will come up and it always baffles me. I'm like, why are people so not in tune with the fact that like I have bills to pay. And I'm sure each and every one of you who are listening have bills to pay as well. I don't want somebody's actions that are totally correctable to get in the way of how much money goes into my bank account at the end of every month. So I'm going to tell you what I don't like about what you're doing. And I'm just hoping that you can just take the constructive criticism. And if you're unclear as to where that criticism is coming, you can ask, like, can you give me an example? Is there something particularly that you would like me to do differently? What's the solution? There are all ways to get around it. So that's the episode for today, guys. There are amazing things happening with the brand, the company, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. But it's a little premature right now, so I'm going to keep it under wraps. Weight loss challenge is still going on. We are in week 5, so we're halfway to the end. If you guys are participating in the weight loss challenge, keep up the good work. We've seen some fluctuations from week to week, but ultimately, it's not about where you start, it's where you finish, and constantly reminding yourself that this is not just about weight loss. It is about body positivity. It's about changing the way that you look at yourself and creating healthy habits. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you guys are following us on all of our social media platforms. The links will be in the description bar below. And if you're not already following me on my personal Instagram, make sure that you do. I've been doing this thing where I'm just shedding like random thoughts with you throughout the day about things that happen. And it's my way of kind of just sharing and putting out positive messages and affirmations. So if you guys want to get a little bit more of that outside of this podcast that's just once a week, follow me on Instagram at Cindy Kema, CindyKema. But first and foremost, make sure you're following Conejo Valley Transit and Hustle Hills. All right. Talk to you guys next week. Until then, stay blessed. Peace.